It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're tuned into your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso right here on SABC3. So good to be hanging out with you on your Thursday morning. We're talking some theatre right now. The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. Quite the title. It's a curious title for a play indeed as well. But it's based on the novel of the same name. And the story revolves around a mystery surrounding the death of a neighbour's dog that is investigated by young Christopher Boone and his relationship with his parents and school mentor. Now, this production is currently running at the fantastic Cape Town's Theatre on the Bay, and we are joined by cast members Kyle Brummer and Lesoko Seabe to share more with us this morning. Give them a huge Expresso welcome this morning. They are brilliant. Thank you very much, guys. Firstly, what a title. What a title. Yeah. What do you guys call it?
A Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime.
Really?
I call it curious.
Just curious.
Yeah, I'm far more lazy.
I'm curious to see, you know how it is, about your characters. And I'll kind of start with you. You play a character who's suggested to live with Asperger's syndrome, you know, which is quite a serious role, I think, to portray as well. How did you go about preparing for this role? I mean, you had to do quite a bit of research, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I was very lucky to be given some time to go and spend some time with some children at the Alpha School for Autism in Woodstock. Yeah. And so I went and I researched largely through that. But I think it's quite important to mention that the novelist Mark Haddon says that he never wanted Christopher to be described as having Asperger's syndrome. Yeah. He preferred to say that he had some behavioural issues, and that's the thing about Christopher, is he sees himself as normal. He's just very specific about certain things. So I was just trying to find Christopher's truth, and when you look at the autism spectrum, it's such a huge range of children or people sitting on that spectrum. So it's about finding his truth and not making it caricature.
Yeah. And I mean, for you stepping into those shoes, I mean, did you learn anything on a personal level going through this process?
I mean, I think with every character you do, but playing someone so special like Christopher, he has an incredible way of looking at the world, and it's quite special to play someone with such innocence and such specificity in the world. Yeah.
Oh man, it sounds amazing, man, and I can only imagine the on-stage appearance of what you bring is absolutely phenomenal as well. Lesoko, of course, you as well. Now, this whole cast, it's only, what, 10 actors?
You say only?
Only?
That's
10 actors?
Is this a lot of people?
Stage. Yeah. It's a lot of people, but I mean, but I mean, you know, it's not to say that you only have one role, right?
No, right. Okay, so it's very unusual for a South African drama to have more than about 4 people, because it's quite expensive to put theatre productions up, unless you're doing something like a dance production or a musical theatre piece. So this is a really rare, wonderful opportunity for people to see a range of actors who range in calibre and experience, from Nick Ellenbogen, who's been in theatre longer than I've been alive. And then to be on stage with Kyle Brummer, who's a fantastic young actor. And there's so many, there are a couple of actors who play multiple roles, and I think this is a wonderful way for people to get an insight as to how Christopher's mind works. It's so specific, things move around so quickly, so the audience doesn't have an opportunity to really fall in love with one character, because the minute you do, the very next scene, he's playing someone else. So it really gives you a full sensory experience of what it's like to be inside of Christopher's mind.
And that is I'm getting goosebumps just listening to what you're saying right now, because it seems so involved, you know, the audience gets a very unique experience. And talking about that, I mean, do the audience really get to feel what Christopher is going through? I mean, this is the whole aim, I'm sure, of this.
So our director and the whole production team has really made it quite incredible, because the stage is essentially a reflection of Christopher's mind. So whatever Christopher's going through, when he's being overwhelmed by certain things, the stage actually does the work for you, as well as the 10 other, the other actors on stage with me. They do an incredible job of really supporting the story of Christopher's and telling it truthfully. And I
would say that it's a completely mesmerizing, immersive experience. From Charles' sound design to the incredible lighting design, as you can see in some of the images here. The way that the boxes, which are very simple props to have on stage, but they move around and create entire worlds. It's a street, and then it's a train, and then it's the inside of someone's house, and then the outside of someone's house. And the lighting design, it's absolutely phenomenal.
And of course, the Theatre on the Bay adding its own kind of magic as well. It's a brilliant space.
It is a wonderful space, and they've just re-renovated, so we're the first first production to be in there. And then in a couple of weeks, move on to Monte Casino. So Joburgers will get a chance to see this production as well.
Good news. I wanted to ask you about that. So if you had to say who should go and watch the show, I know you're going to say everyone, but is there anyone specific that will really kind of take away something from it? And what is that something that you want the audience to take away?
I think the thing is that when, you know, a lot of shows say it's for everyone, but this really is for everyone. It's for children, it's for parents, it's for grandparents. Because you can see we have 10 characters ranging in age.
Yeah.
And so I think it speaks to every single one and every single generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also met a whole bunch of people who said that they'd read the book in their childhood. There are a lot of people who are studying the book in school. It would be an extraordinary experience to go and see a live performance and rendition of this. It's been put on Broadway. We're the South African premiere of this. The National Theatre's put it on, so this really is world-class theatre.
Well, you know what, based on the excitement and the energy that I feel from you guys talking about the show, it's definitely one not to miss. Donas, thank you very much for joining us, and I wish you all the best. How does it say, break a leg?
Yes.
Yes. I know it's not horrible, but you should. Go break a leg. So it's on up until the 3rd of November
Yes.
at the Theatre on the Bay.
We move to Joburg.
Yeah, from the 9th of November up until the 2nd of December. Make sure you catch it. Tickets will be available at computicket.com.